Okay, let's unpack this. So imagine you're digging in your backyard, right?
Hmm.
And you unearth this time capsule that's been buried for 35 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the seal is perfectly intact. And what's inside isn't just, some nostalgic trinket. It's actually a blueprint that shaped the foundation of modern stories you probably love today.
Right, yeah. It's less of a museum piece and more like a dormant engine just suddenly firing back up.
Exactly. And for you listening, that is the exact kind of unearthing we're looking at in today's deep dive.
Totally.
Our source today is this single, highly anticipated article. It announces the television anime adaptation of the classic manga From Far Away.
Which is huge news.
It really is. So our mission today is to figure out why bringing back this specific story for its 35th anniversary in 2026 is such a monumental deal, for longtime fans and total newcomers alike.
Well, I mean, we're talking about a massive footprint here. From Far Away ran in Hakusenshi's Hana to Yum Comics from 1991 all the way to 2002.
That's a really solid run.
It is. It has over 4 million copies in circulation across 14 volumes.
Yeah.
And Viz Media handled the English translation.
4 million is just huge for that era. But to understand the sheer gravity of this comeback, we really have to look at why it stuck with people.
Right.
So we follow Noriko. She's just an ordinary high schooler who gets suddenly transported to this strange new realm. And if you follow anime, you immediately recognize this as like a classic isekai setup.
Yeah, exactly. But what's fascinating here is how the story actually helped pioneer that very genre.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but with a completely distinct focus. It leans heavily on emotional stakes rather than just, leveling up or acquiring cool powers.
That's not like a video game.
No, not at all. So Noriko meets this dashing ally, Izark. But Izark harbors a literal dark evil inside him. And it's tied to an ancient prophecy that actually places Noriko right at the center.
Okay, so their dynamic isn't just your standard adventure duo. It's almost like, it's like being handcuffed to a bomb technician, but the technician is the bomb.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is exactly it.
The connection they share is romantic, sure, but it's forged under the constant, terrifying pressure of this prophecy.
And that pressure forces the narrative to really explore the concept of fate.
Yeah.
You have these sweeping, perilous fantasy elements.
Right.
But the core of the story is how these two very ordinary-feeling people manage to anchor each other when the world is quite literally against them.
Which perfectly brings us to the adaptation announcement itself. We've got a new illustration from the creator, Kyoko Hikawa, a teaser video, and the biggest reveal of all.
The director.
Yes, Noriyuki Abe is at the helm.
Abe is just a powerhouse. I mean, you look at his resume, Bleach, The Heroic Legend of Arslan, Yu Yu Hakusho.
Iconic shows.
Truly.
Yeah.
He brings decades of experience choreographing like visceral danger to the screen.
Okay, now wait, let me challenge that for a second.
Sure.
Because if you're an anime fan looking at this news, you might be scratching your head a bit.
How so?
Well, Abe is famous for these really intense shonen shows, meaning heavy action, nonstop combat. But From Far Away is fundamentally a shojo manga.
Right.
It's driven by romance, emotion, and interpersonal relationships. So doesn't putting an aggressive action director on a romance risk drowning out the heart of the story with, I don't know, explosions?
I get why you'd think that, but if we connect this to the bigger picture of the source material, the choice makes perfect sense.
Okay, sell me on it.
So, the emotional weight in Sorbet, From Far Away, only really lands because the external threats are genuinely terrifying.
Yeah.
Izark's internal darkness and the monsters they face, they are physical and immediate.
Oh, I see. So you need someone who knows how to make that threat feel incredibly real.
Exactly. Abe knows how to build that tension. By making the magical threats and the action sequences super intense, he actually elevates the urgency of Noriko and Izark's romance.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
You really have to believe they are fighting for their lives, for their bond to resonate. The action serves as the crucible for their relationship.
Wow, okay. The danger essentially proves the strength of their connection. So for everyone listening, definitely keep an eye on the official sites and social media as the countdown to 2026 continues. The details are just going to keep dropping.
It's definitely poised to make a major impact on the current anime landscape.
Absolutely. But before we wrap up, there's this specific detail from the article that I just can't shake.
What's that?
Well, Izark's dark evil is inextricably linked to a prophecy positioning Noriko right at its center, which brings us all the way back to that time capsule analogy.
Oh, right. You start to wonder why it was buried in the first place, or in Noriko's case, why she was chosen.
Exactly. Was her being pulled from a totally ordinary high school life into this specific realm really an accident?
Probably not.
Right. Or was the prophecy itself, or maybe that ancient darkness, deliberately reaching across worlds to drag her in?
That is a wild thought.
Sometimes you don't find the capsule summons you. Just something to think about.